Welcome to the educational channel. This is episode 5 of Unit 4. Now, in this episode, we'll practice everything we learned from Unit 4. Let's begin with the vocabulary. Now, as I mentioned before and said, we have two types of vocabulary questions, multiple choice and gap filling. The first type we will tackle here is multiple choice. Now, what we have to do is very simple. We have to read the sentence, then read the answers, and choose the suitable answer. I will read the sentence and give you enough time to choose the suitable answer, then I will show you the answer. Now, number 1, there are many blank, I can't focus. Can you choose the correct answer? The correct answer is A, distractions. How about number 2? I chose a very difficult password for my Wi-Fi, which makes it choose the correct answer. A, flattering, B, inaccessible, C, annual, D, non-verbal. The answer is inaccessible. Number 3, he stood by me when everybody let me down, so I blank him a lot. Choose the correct answer. And the correct answer is O. Now, the other type of question is gap filling. As you can see, there are 3 words between brackets. What we have to do now is very simple. Read the sentence and choose the suitable answer. Now, number 1, the best way to your skills in English is to practice. Now, choose the suitable word between the brackets. And the answer is enhance. Now, as you can see, I crossed the word, so we have 2 choices now. Number 2, thanks to modern technology, I can call my friends even if they were in a different. Look at the word between brackets. We have insults and continents. Which one of them suitable? And of course, the correct answer is continent. Now, number 3, when you raise your tone while speaking to older brother, it is considered as an insult. Now, how about the set book questions? What are the 4 barriers to effective communication? Number 1, the one-way listening. Number 2, interrupting the interlocutor. Judging before you comprehend. Not listening with an open mind. Set book question number 2, what information should be included in a letter of application? So, educational certificates or degrees, day and date of birth, place of residence, and current position. Let's tackle the grammar. Now we have grammar exercises. Choose the correct answer. It was raining heavily. Blank, they went fishing. And notice we have a comma. And remember, in our grammar lesson, we said, however, after however, we put comma directly. Now how about number 2? The sentence begins with a blank. Then as you can see, his excellent skills in driving, he didn't pass his driving test. And the correct answer is in spite of. The other type of questions for grammar is do as shown. Basically, between brackets, they ask you to do, for example, here, join with but. So, I invited Ali to my wedding. He didn't come. So, join these 2 sentences using but. And the answer is, I invited Ali to my wedding, but he didn't come. If you remember in our grammar lesson or episode, we said, usually before but we put comma. How about number 2? I invited Ali to my wedding, he didn't come. Now we have to use although. The answer is, although I invited Ali to my wedding, he didn't come. Now for reading comprehension, we have this letter. I will read this letter to you. Dear sirs, in response to your advertisement in Kuwait Times, I wish to offer my services as a surgeon in the new hospital you are currently building. I am 31 years old, Kuwaiti, and currently live in Greenwich Village, New York. I graduated from Columbia University, New York, with a doctorate in cardiac surgery, and for the past 3 years, I have been working in a hospital in New York. Before this position, I undertook extensive surgery training at my university for about 6 months. The main motive for leaving my current position is that I have decided to return to my home country and reside there with my family permanently. I believe that working at your hospital would be an excellent opportunity for me to gain more experience, especially as your hospital has an excellent reputation in surgery and other fields of medicine. Regarding references, I am enclosing my curriculum vitae as well as attestation of my doctorate degree. In case additional information is required, I suggest that you send me an email at faisal@medicalmail.com and I will provide you with further details as soon as possible. Now, thank you in advance for your attention, and I look forward to the pleasure of a personal interview and the opportunity to give you more information about myself. Yours faithfully, Dr. Faisal Saif. The first question is the purpose of this passage. So, we read the paragraph together, the passage together, the email. Now, what is the purpose of this email? Look at the answers and choose the correct answer. You won't be able to answer this correctly unless you read the letter or the passage or the email carefully and you understood it. So, the answer is applying for a job. Now, the second question is the antonym of the underlined word extensive. Antonym, it means the opposite, and the answer is limited. B. How about number 3? The underlined word permanently means. We have 4 answers. A. Short period of time. B. Incredible. C. Forever. How about D. Temporary? And the answer is C, of course, forever. Now, let's go to the productive questions. Number 1, how many years of experience does he have? According to the letter, he has 3 years and 6 months of experience. Number 2, why did he decide to offer his services as a surgeon in the new hospital? According to the letter or email, because he decided to return to his home country and reside there with his family permanently. Now, we have the summary. What are the factors that cause poor listening skills to develop? Let's read the summary together, then summarize it. The reason for failure in communication is that there are many assumptions we make while communicating with others. For instance, you might think that you know what the other person is going to say, so you simply don't listen to the conversation anymore. Then, another barrier to communication has to do with non-verbal signals. One recent study showed that only 7% of our communicating is tied to what we actually say. A full 55% of communication happens through non-verbal signals, and another 38% is based on tonality. So, if your non-verbal signals are contradicting what your mouth is saying, people are going to remember what you didn't say instead. The last barrier to communication is the improper use of questions. Many people believe that if they ask multitude of questions, they are communicating well and connecting with the other person. This may or may not be the case. We must ask the right questions at the right time to get the information we need to communicate effectively. That means asking open-ended questions. Questions that begins with who, what, when, why, where, and how. Open-ended questions help true discussion and understanding to take place. Now, as we mentioned before, when you summarize, underline the main ideas. And now, this is the first idea. There are many assumptions we make while communicating with others, and this is the second and third, and this is the fourth. Now let's paraphrase. The first idea, number 1, there are many assumptions we make while communicating with others. Notice how we used first at the beginning, and we said using transition words is very important in summary and also in writing. Now, first, judging before understanding is one of the factors that causes poor listening skills to develop. This is how we paraphrase the first idea. Now, the second idea, non-verbal signals. Second, your body language must match what your mouth is saying. Number 3, the improper uses or use of questions. Look at the sentence and how we paraphrase it. Also, asking the wrong questions is another factor. Idea number 4, many people believe that if they ask a multitude of questions, they are communicating well and connecting with the other person. At the beginning of the sentence, you can notice we used finally because it is our last idea. So finally, there is a false assumption that asking too many questions means good communication. Notice we used transition words when we paraphrase the ideas. And this is how it's supposed to look like, and I will read it to you. First, judging before understanding is one of the factors that causes poor listening skills to develop. Second, your body language must match what your mouth is saying. Also, asking the wrong question is another factor. Finally, there is a false assumption that asking too many questions means good communication. Now, let's tackle the translation. For translation, we have to translate the meaning, not word by word. I'll read the translation in Arabic, then I'll read the translation in English. عمر، ما هي مواصفات المستمع الجيد؟ Ali replied by saying هناك الكثير ولكن سأذكر لك أحد الخصائص وهي لا تحكم قبل الفهم. Let's see the translation. Umar, what are the characteristics of a good listener? Ali, there are plenty, but I will mention one of them, which is don't judge before you comprehend. Now, in Unit 4, we talked about communication in general. We talked about how people in the past communicated and how technology helped to develop our ways or means of communicating. In the past, if they want to communicate with each other, they used pigeons, smoke, and mail runners. Nowadays, when they want to communicate with other people, they can use mobile phones, fax, and emails. So nowadays, if you want to send a message, it will take only a few seconds. In the past, if you want to send a message, it will take around 3 weeks or 3 months. And also we discussed how to be a good listener, and we said one of the most important factors to be a good listener is to comprehend before you judge. And also sometimes you have to read between the lines, and don't ask improper questions, or when you ask questions, ask your question in the correct timing. Now, in this episode, we practiced different exercises regarding the units. So, thank you for watching and good luck.